And I'm back. We need to start off with an apology. Last time I played for an hour and a half while thinking I was streaming, but I had not started the stream. So we missed a whole bunch of stuff, and then I was away for a weekend due to reasons. Or... no, actually I don't think so. I'm merely one day late, aren't I? I'm on Sunday rather than Saturday. But that, I imagine, can be coped with. So I'm very sorry, everyone. You missed a very, very touching scene at the end of the dead guy on the boardwalk quest. And now I've forgotten what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Let's find out what happens if we just carry on with the main quest. I kind of want to finish this game. I don't want to rush too much. I have never found her husband, which I feel was important. Just because it came up early.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
The clowns are still hanging around. I've connected you to the local drug trade. Like hell you have. He leans back unruffled. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos. What? We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. He taps on his notebook, then turns to you. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace? Suggestion. No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant. No, do the honour. You've earned it. Thank you. He turns to face the man. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade, because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. Big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runs on the street. Yeah, man, theoretically that's what you would do, to get rid of the gangs, dealers, even some of the junkies. You'd need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. I have the option of saying there's still plenty of drugs out there. In fact, I have some in my bloodstream right now. Which isn't actually true for once. Real shame. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact there's still plenty of drugs out there. No, there aren't. Some little shit in his data doing speed. Boo fucking who. Stuff's probably from Jamrock. Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. The place is a paradise, and all thanks to Hardy Boys. I've got to admit, looking at Martinez does not make me think paradise. But here we are. Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here. The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right? My answer is fuck off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene. Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future. And here we go. Back to the usual. Poor Elizabeth. I know. The little man raises his index finger slightly. Fatty walked on all 4s. He's suffering. In fact, he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mum, Dennis. Yeah, I got experience points for it, and that's what matters. That's what I like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know? Guess that worked. How many points do I have? A few. Yeah, I'm still kind of upset that you can't just increase a whole stat. So I talked to Claudia about the tape. And nothing. She stands by what she said. That fucking fucker. He stares at his beer for 2 seconds. Intently, and turns to you. You're the worst cops in Rivershaw. I give you gold on that tape. I'm gonna go with it. She pretty much laughed it off, Titus. Fucking fuckity fucker! Yes, that's a good result. He shakes his head. And what did you say then? That it's fine? People are supposed to be like that? Suggestion. Sounds like you wanted to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal. I'm going to just keep going with the really intense options. Titus, she said she'd like to be a little dog on her herself if she could. Yes, in fact, the lieutenant looks at you and him. I think she thought it was a little funny. And again, this dialogue option doesn't really make sense in the context of me saying she pretty much laughed it off. He's just repeating, but whatever. Funny? No good goddamn psycho war. Ooh! It did a sound effect. Alright, he slams his giant fist on the door frame. Wait. But whatever. Alright, fuck me then. All fucking right. What the? I can't. Fucking right, yeah. No, that doesn't really work. Whatever. Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus. Her voice is a bit softer than earlier. Titus rubs his chin in his palm as if trying to grind it smooth. This is just perfect, just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman? We're not crazy. Irash. No, I'm going to go with like Scottish for this, I think. I can't. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump. Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened? I already told you. He puts his giant face in his hands and sighs. We fucking hanged him. There's less gusto in his voice now. His men, too, are growing increasingly silent. Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There'll be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember? I know you're tired. Why don't you just... You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you, them, and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said fuck off. This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits. Lying, scaring, we're done. This is over, you understand? Your little investigation is over. I'm enjoying this too much. This is just fun to read. Just the most clicheist. There is a silence in the room. Alan starts saying something, then thinks best not to. On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it. What is this quiet funeral shit? We need some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union. Why don't we make it 40, huh? Why don't we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough. 100 beers, now we're talking. Hop you over here, cafeteria manager. The window might be closing. The more beers they get in, the less cooperative they will be. This has been like days, electrochemistry. They've been sitting here drinking the entire time for several days because I'm slow. Oof. So I have a pretty small chance on this rhetoric, but I could change my gear. Maybe I'll take off now. Okay, we can do this. What clothes did I have for rhetoric? I know there was one. Logic, perception, drama. No, it's all drama. Was I wrong? I guess I was, unless the clothing for rhetoric was that hat that I gave away. Still slightly mad about. Because I could have given away a much worse hat if I'd known. -1 rhetoric hat. That doesn't seem very useful. Well, only one way to become more persuasive then. Blaze it. Ouch. Owie. My lungs. We might spend 1 more point if we fail, nevertheless.
What is it?
Oof, 1 and a 2. Clausia is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good. I can go with like the really incelly answers again, which was hilarious last time, but... Okay man, it's clearly being played like a fiddle. No, we fucking aren't, asshole. No one's fiddling anyone in here. No, Glenn, I want to hear this. What do you think is fucking fiddling me? You promised there'd be good options. Where are they? Oh, you want more good options? Here we are. I mean, you're sweet. Jesus fuck. No, the lieutenant intervenes to recontextualize. He's just playing his viola da gamba. Before becoming a detective, my partner was a violinist. Many of us were. Time to move to more serious matters. Fuck that, kick his ass, boss. This is a fiddle-free establishment. You hear that? One more peep out of here and you're on the curb, fiddle man. Oof. Okay, I don't get a penalty on future rolls, but stings a bit.
It's you again. What is it?
Come on, work. 6 and 4, it'll do. Convinced Titus is being manipulated. Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now, Titus will never falter. One of his boys will. Just remember, it's about more than Clausia. It's about these men and Martinez, and their district, and their responsibility. Outside in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked, and the benches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind. That's it then. Case closed. Going home, Kim. Huh? The lieutenant raises his brow. He'll get it. Go on. Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you. Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because... because you're a foreigner. Goddamn right! Don't come around if you're not from around! Uh-oh. Fuck you, I'm not from around, that's not why we... There we go. Don't come to Wild North if you're not white enough. I club you from behind, string you up and go back to drinking. It wasn't that... It wasn't... The fat man says, Louise, we didn't hit him, okay? That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the... hang on, has Theo spoken before? Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up. The old man reaches for his belt and his voice is strangely calm. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. I'm going to go with look at Kim first. The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. What? What does that mean? Go for it. The lieutenant has his eyes set on the fat guy. Push, Angus. We're almost there. Turn to Angus. Oh what? You're gonna fucking kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason? We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when... Shut up, Angus. He was dead before you hanged him. Well, yes, because, as we should have established, several days of in-game time ago, he had a ceramic helmet and there was no way they could have knocked him out with a blow to the head. Unfortunately, I failed some dice rolls and that never came up. Fatty! The little guy hits Angus in the back of the head. Loud slap. Say one more thing to the cops and I'll... Dennis! Titus roars. Stand down or I'll beat your head in! Theo! I've lost his voice now. Take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. The room falls quiet. So quiet you can hear Angus wheeze. It's kind of like bullying him for being fat a little bit, the writing. I feel like it just keeps bringing up the wheezing, the fatty voice stuff. I get. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying. I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry. Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? As he snaps him. Now it's all pointless because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you to just give her up. Lizzie, he turns to fix it. Your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard. Fine, I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast. She walks off without looking back. Sadly, we're not zoomed out, so we just have to wait a little bit. What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions? So you didn't kill him. He was already dead. You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it? We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see. Carr and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves, mouths covered by blue masks, bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light, shine it in his mouth, he tells his assistant. The coroner squats, to better see as the light illumines the darkness inside. Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun. Why? Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit. Girls plural. There's another girl. 2 of them? Take note of this. I'll probably say more about her later. So another thing is we missed the perception check on the body to notice the cause of death wasn't hanging, though it was a really, really tough check. It makes me wonder if there's any way to skip over all of this back and forth dialogue. There's so much content, you wouldn't want players missing all of it. But equally it did seem to give us roles that, if succeeded at, would have bypassed it all. Or at least, maybe it would have just made it easier, made it shorter, I'm not sure. Did she kill him? Cop, I have no idea. This girl says she didn't. He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't. What happened Sunday night? Claire, you came down, Winston says. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and grinning, you know? Not in a fun way. Looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. How did you know? I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse. Good nails, you boss. You don't get a talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus. What happened then? We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking. Dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. He means they'd been fucking? No, I think he just means, like, fucking hell. Tibbs patched the window, and the corpse we hanged. Tibbs, the 830? No, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business. Probably gets a lot of work around here. Right now, he's grateful he hasn't got his brother into this mess. If Claudia didn't kill him, why the cover-up? You may have noticed that girl's in some shit of her own. I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about? The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her from the old world, where she came from. These people, who are they? They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. It says if you showed them your systems, she'd be ghosted away. And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder? No, sorry. Why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder? Why would I? Because I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. So who killed the mug then? Any leads? Not yet, just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. What are you thinking? I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his. Hers? You mean... I mean the people after Claudia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her. I like that. Yeah, but I've been thinking the same thing myself. And you had ideas about his past too? I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or could have been someone else from Krennel. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you. Yeah, thanks for the clown dancing. He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers? In a manner of speaking. Remember the two girls? You may be talking about the other one. Earlier you said the girls asked for your help. Was this the other girl? No, I'm doing that voice with No, that's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it, for political reasons. It sent a good message. It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker, the missing 830. The big guy steps towards you. Fella, you think too much. He's awful, right? Gonna hurt your head. A little too far there, but you're definitely right. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her anyway. You know, it's okay for that to be a Hardy girl, Titus. His face sets like concrete. He shakes his head solemnly. We're Hardy Boys and that's it. Can you tell me anything about this affiliate? Name, current location? Nope, you're not getting to her. It's Classy you want. Kim, we did it. Lieutenant gives you a smile. I'm sorry I made you guys fight. Me too. Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time. You do that. He grabs his beer and swirls it in his hand, thinking, hey, cop, before you go. Suddenly the wind picks up outside. You can hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling rags in a warm column. Claudia came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection, but... Still, after all this headache... But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away. That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers. We'll take that into account. The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. The plot thickens? Yeah, at this point it just feels like an endless back and forth paper trail. Probably that's because I've spent way too much time pissing around with useless bullshit. I'm going to go and use my boosted rhetoric to try and open a cargo door. Although I think I'm still only passing on a crit, right? It wanted like 18. Also, I'm pretty sure you can't actually talk cargo container doors open. Like, that's just impossible. 3 Ts. How idiomatic. How is that idiomatic? Is there an easier way through without all of the hopping between rooms and stuff? If, like, can I just get Measurehead to let me in now?
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
He's just hilarious. I actually have a pretty good chance of, like, subscribing to his advanced race theory, but I don't want to. As hilarious as, like, becoming sort of mega fantasy racist would be, it would probably also be unethical. Alright, let's give it a go. Got a lot of bonuses. I have 17%. That's not happening. Oof. And as it's always been, it's impossible to open a cargo container with rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind? That was definitely worth doing, I'm sure we can all agree. The precarious world thing was giving me a bonus there, which is interesting. Given that I can only put one more point into rhetoric and then only while on nicotine, I'm gonna save that that ability to unlock rhetoric checks for if I actually need it. What if I'd like flunked out on that rhetoric check with Titus there? Like failed, put in one more point, failed again.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
Keep saving that economy. Save the economy? That sounds off. Save the economy? What are you talking about? Haven't you heard, officer? We got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash. Keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. That doesn't make any sense. What exactly does the economy need saving? Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? None of these are communist. There's like a racist option and two different neoliberal options. I don't have children, I think. Too bad, officer. Kids make it all worthwhile. Without kids, who's going to be around to enjoy the economy? Points to the clothes. Don't let me stop you. Open the box and browse a little. I don't think I need that particular item of clothing. So... I passed the rhetoric challenge with Sealing. Oh no, that's just going to give me money. I don't want to do that. I don't particularly care about talking to Gaston either. And there's some suggestion ones. It's the volition one with Joyce. I don't remember that at all. Oh well. I'm just going to go back to continuing the plot. I feel like there will be time later for messing around. Yeah, I want to kick this door down and explore the rest of this mystery level. Now, granted, it's probably a bad idea to do that. However, have you considered it would be fun?
It's always good to see you.
It's always good to see you. Something in her demeanour has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come. Let's talk about your room again. Where does that door lead to? You tell me, officer. I've been trying to open it, in case the contamination gets to the roof and I have to move on. Okay. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened. I understand. She puts a coffee mug on the table. Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this. I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Are you though? Miss, I would totally be down for doing some massacres. This is good. Clear the air first, between you two, then move on to questions. Is it... something is off here? I've lost track of Volition's voice. We'll come back to it. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. Thistle. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break. If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time? Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law? The Hardy Boys are not the law. We are. You gotta say it sometimes, right? I know that, but the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them. Cool, I'm satisfied with this explanation. I am not. There is more here, miss. You're right. There's more. More? You answer to the coalition government and, by extension, the moral in turn. She reaches for a new cigarette. Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. Where the cold oceanic expanse lies, and behind it, another world. Stand by, you're looking over your shoulder. You're afraid of the moral intern. She nods. You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. She lights the cigarette. What's going on? What did you do? Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will... What happens if they do? They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the Morrowlinton Mill. I don't think this is true, per se. I think this is good old, like, paranoid schizophrenia to at least some extent. It just seems so... I guess this world is pretty bizarre, though. There's a wince and a pained little smile. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. What did you do to have these people after you? It's not nice, but it's not illegal, not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje. What exactly did you do? Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company, the kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting. He taps on his notebook. I need the names of the companies involved, and who hired you. The job was Lewsdown County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewscap conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company, you wouldn't know them. But she really destroyed them. She still feels it. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lewscap and their friends in the MI. She breathes out heavily. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. I mean, I do want to say that the bank will be up against the wall. I probably get experience points for that. But I'm going to go with it. I'm sure there are people who've done much worse than that. Sure, I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people too, not just C-suite. Shakes her head at the thought. A lot of people got hurt, she concludes, but there's more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more. What did you do? She looks down, then into your eyes. One of them killed themselves because of me. That's not easy to deal with. How do you deal with anything? It's all just... She looks at you with pleading eyes. How do you do it? I don't either. There you have it. She's already almost devoured the cigarette she just lit, and looks at it sadly. The way of the warrior. What happened here, the night he died? We were there, she points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Together. In bed, I mean. Tell me exactly what happened. Okay. She takes a deep breath. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see. A great pain moves through her. A dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it. I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death. Better not to mention it. Then what happened? He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. She points through the window. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides. Then she continues. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came. She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails. Your cigarette, miss. Oh. She looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. Not that that's animated, she just keeps smoking it, and will forever. I'm sorry this happened to you. So am I. She immediately proceeds to light another one. What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible. 11:30 to 12:15? I don't know the exact time. Around midnight. That's okay. Were you inebriated? Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking. Wait, Titus said she was gunning her jaw off, much more than usual. Titus said you looked pretty high. Oh yeah, I did one of his lines, just to clear my head. Good thinking, clear your head. You should clear your head, get into his mindset. Electrochemistry, stop being like that. Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this? No. What did you do then? Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room, downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there'd be people there. Run, woman, run past them out into the street where it's dark and people move, to the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can. Why didn't you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you here now? I already ran. I ran from an entire isola. I can't run any further, not with these people. This is as far as it gets. What happened after you ran downstairs? Sylvie was tending the bar. She looks down. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong. Ruby? Before we continue, who's Ruby? Ruby, you know, the leader. The leader of what? The Hardy Boys, she says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taking care of. She's the organizer. This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her, so do the others. Would you say she is the, he looks at you, 8th Hardy Boy? Why not? Okay, let's go on. What then? Well, Ruby said, let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know. Take care of things. I helped get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower to keep him upright. To produce lividity matching a hanging. Yes. We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death? Visual calculus. Failure. Oops. About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what it does. She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do? Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lally in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on, his armour too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. What did you do while they were hanging him? Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I did. This Ruby. Where is Ruby now? I don't know. I haven't seen her since. We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys. When it happened, do you hear a gunshot? When he was shot? I may have, I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. Could the people after you have killed him? That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. And I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone, so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. It probably didn't. Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here. She looks at the table. We can't go after this guy. Not yet. There are other saner leads. I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Why did you call the cops if you're hiding? Because I'm an idiot? The answer comes fast, which is an indicator of truth. I don't think so. Why did you do it? You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting, and then they picked his clothes off, and then that little fucker threw stones at him. Her jaw is clenched, her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob, once, just one time. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. She shakes her head. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Revachol. When was the window changed? Last week. Angus and Titus' brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. Did you kill Lally? What? She gathers the last vestige of strength. Why would I put myself through this insanity, get myself cornered like this? The wind picks up. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him. All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. It could have been a desire murder, maybe an act of jealousy. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark. I'd like to answer some other questions, miss. I think we're done here. I don't think much of the theory that she killed him. I mean, like, by prior probability it's plausible, but equally this is a story, and in stories, you never do the obvious. The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door. He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping? She lied to you, and she's a flight risk. Let's return to this later. Inland Empire. As you look back, you think, so love did do him in after all. I was right. If it weren't for her, he would not have been here. The shot would not have connected with his soft palate. What's communism in this? I do not know. A wind of needles. Airships flutter in the stratosphere. How do I know all this then? Who knows? It's getting cold out. You should go. Looks like love did him in after all. She's silent, holding onto her coffee mug. No vapour rises from it. It's cold. Remember this silence. The lady is dangerous. People suffer around her. Yeah, she finally breaks the silence. I'd like to think he didn't love me, or that it was chemically induced and not real. Why? Easier that way. Was it? I don't know. Real as anything. Anyway, yeah, this is the part where I put on a bunch of wacky clothes so I can pass a drama check. I'm only moderately sorry. Didn't I have a bow tie somewhere? There it is, it's purple. For some reason I thought it was blue. Are there any other things that boosted drama? Oh no, I can lose one from glasses if for some reason I hate myself.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Still only 28%. Oh, right. Not blazing it enough. 42%, that's a little better. Will I put points in drama to unlock this? I guess I have 4 sitting. But we are awake, sire. He's been forthcoming with sordid details women usually conceal. Most shocking details of the sexual kind. We are a bulwark unbreached. Get a hold of yourself just once, will you? Try and look past the sexually lax morals and do some police work. So you say, but give us one example of deceit. Just one example. Just a proposition. Could the lurid explicitness conceal something less sensational but more illegal? Who is this personhood picking these seditious options? Can't you see the detective grows weary of your malcontent? Stop talking to me. Stop staring at her eyes and say something pertinent to the case. This is making you look like an amateur. Fine. A little awkward that you have to, like, leave and then...
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
6 and 6. Oh, right, yeah, sure. Make it so it didn't even matter. Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Kim, why have we not arrested her yet? There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention. A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station. I did. What is this? I called your desk, or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8102 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed. That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says. What time did you make the call? Thursday night. It was late. Sometime after 12. Lieutenant nods in direction. It checks out. Anyone could know the number. But I know the time of the call too, she breathes in. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you officers, but I am now. You sense a little hesitation there. Maybe even fear. The stress was on the wrong syllable. Welcome to the wake-up club, brother. Your real name isn't Claudia Amanda. I agree, Lieutenant, sir. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you. Okay. Her voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what? Okay, it's not. Good, you can tell me the truth. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Komen, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. She looks at her hands, her fingernails are chipped white. I'm so tired of it. Like, if they're already hunting you down and shooting at you, It doesn't matter that you tell us. It's Katazin Azazye. The Smartman face is timid, almost painfully so. Could it mean Klasia is an acronym for Katazin Azazye? Wait, Klasia is an abbreviation? She nods. It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here this time, so I used my nickname. A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Klasia? Who gave it to you? A teenage boy, 1,000,000 years ago. I'll keep calling you Klasia. That's cool. She looks at the ashtray and up at you. She doesn't feel like a Klasian. She feels like nothing. Let's change the subject. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. This is not the end of this. I will go ahead and resist the urge to throw you in prison, because I'm wearing absolutely ridiculous clothes. Make Titus give up Ruby's location. Organizer missing. You fully explored the world, analysed the site of the murder, truly and thoroughly interrogated Klasia. All this might make convincing them easier. Well, no bonuses on this. Could go and get some alcohol. Boost my physical instrument. Do I really not have any other clothes that boost it apart from the oh, the insane mesh tank top. That was the other thing. Fuck. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because my first roll was horrible. It wasn't within 1 point of passing. But still, I might have been able to avoid. It would make me feel a lot better if I had actually equipped every plus drama thing, rather than spending a point on it. Seeing as I'm not convinced that that unlocking all of that helped me. Except maybe it'll help with even more negotiations with the Hardy Boys, but I just don't. At some point you've got to stop having the patience for it, you know? Time's getting on. Wait, didn't I already buy alcohol? Yeah, of course I did. Silly question. Of course I have booze. It's only the party drugs that I'm not allowed anymore. Bloody Kim. It's pretty awkward actually if I don't get more speed then I have a whole wasted thought slot as well. What was that thought that I never quite completed for? Magnesium-based life form, yeah. It gave you like, bonus volition and stuff. It wasn't a horrible outcome. Alright, and boost the fuck up. It's a white checks, there's no reason to use. Oof. Ouch. Owie. You kick it, gung-ho style, entering the premises style, but the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you. Alright, the windows are pretty clean. Let's trash the place. Let's not. Your foot is ready to explode and punish this object. Swallow the rage. Okay, more painkillers. And try again. This is why I saved all of those points for so long. To get the double effect of not just being able to have better stats, but to be able to retry checks that I want to pass. This time, something cracks inside. It's an unbelievably satisfying sound. That accent is wandering all over the place. What the hell? Nice. Young woman nods. Filling you with a belief in your own body. Well, the lieutenant comes here. Sounds like this time the property damage was at least resultive. Would it hurt to look in? Let's see. I don't think that was an Aces High moment, Harry. You're just breaking in to a place that you've already trashed. But this time on purpose. Tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side. You can almost see the shape of a man and woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere. I think I can see into Clausia's bedroom from here. He leans closer to inspect the peephole. You can barely see through. Better not jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious. Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions. What are these people doing in there? Getting close to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. Recouped our point. Uncover the secrets hidden within. Okay, I'm gonna need visual calculus if I can possibly get it. Or at least perception. And I probably want torch. Yeah, this is the one that has VisCal. I guess logic probably helps more than Phys instrument in here. And I guess this might be electrochemistry's time to shine. Because after all, it's really difficult to figure out that what we have is the classic Peepin' Tom. That's borderline impossible. Just, you know, having a normal one. The pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted. Can I investigate the footprints, please? You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor. Jackpot. I didn't take some number. These, unlike everything else here, are new. Someone's been here within the last week or two. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer. He looks at you. This is good. He likes it. There's a little smile there in the dark of the workshop. It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. Okay, what does this mean? It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route leading to the roof from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer, and if not, they're a good argument for this Ruby doing it, to present to Titus. Let's have a closer look then. Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform horizontal lines. This print doesn't look like the odd sole print we found at the hanging, Kim. Inspects the tracks closer. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know, but it's not an argument for her either. Doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging, does it? No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me, or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though. It's just guard. It's just, like, guard perving on them. No, I've got to stop with the sensible explanations. We want lurid sensationalism. Ooh. +1 empathy and +1 hand-eye coordination. That's an interesting one. Wait, how do you get empathy out of it? Hand-eye coordination I understand, but empathy. M. Lifelock's Blues. And hand-eye coordination, it's too obvious to even need explaining. It's a pinball maker's coat. Of course it improves your hand-eye coordination. This dusty old coat used to belong to someone called M. Lifelocks. The name is stitched into the silk lining. It smells of moths and ancient engine grease, but fits you perfectly. A strange, lonely emotion fills you when you tighten the belt around your waist. Oh man, that is a look, I've got to say. I do want the visual calcul one for now, but just in case there is any checks in here that I might want to pass, but boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. It is the same secret passage. I mean, obviously, but this pinball is white Deora. The back glass shows a female figure in mourning. A note. NB. The spare key is tied to the bush around the outside corner room window. The spare key is tied to the bush around the outside corner room window. The door is connected to the one upstairs. How do we get through? Must be a key somewhere, the lieutenant says. Probably somewhere in the welling. It's not too important. We can get in and out using the roof door. Yeah, but that's really inconvenient. Small elevator is dimly lit by bulbs and glowing for ages. Again, smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. Maintenance card says last maintenance 10th July 88. So it must be used to transport pinball machines to and from the upstairs workshop. So the last maintenance was in 88. That it does. Let's brave it. I mean, we already came down it, but I guess maybe the game thinks we would come up it? How would that have worked? This elevator was last maintained in the future? No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century. So it's not a message from the future? No, I think the bureaucrats just forgot about this backroom elevator after the revolution. The elevator controls. Monter, descendre, international call for emergency assistance. Mostly pinball machines. Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator. Let's go. So this is where they brought faulty pinball machines to fix them up a long time ago. Everything is covered in dust now. Lieutenant looks around, inspecting tools. Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point. At some point, 20 years ago? 15 maybe. Before pinball went out of vogue. Used to be a pinball workshop. Looks like it. I'm guessing Matinee's North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over. He taps his foot. A creak, some dust falls off a shelf. Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hardys bang away at it. Remember the dice maker? Then that means Whirling in Rags was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade. This is all left over from that. Ah yes, as the novelty dice maker said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. but I do like a little connection. But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection. Could this mean the whirling in rags really is part of the doomed commercial area? If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy. Stupid superstition, but still it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story, it's a curse, and guard also be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells. Inland Empire, we've been over this. You need to be less insane. Wait, stop, that man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42. It's what she said, yes. Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality, he was 42 years old. Where is this going? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 litres of raw alcohol has left its figments. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them. Kim, how old do you think I am? Huh? The lieutenant isn't quite sure he heard you. How old do I look? How old? 58? You're probably right, that's about what I look. Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance. And I was wrong about the age of the deceased. Wait, this requires scientific measurements. Bring it on, I'm not afraid of the truth. To the laboratorium. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100. Both longer than they ought to be, the day and the century. But for how long, then, has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born? Let's ditch that and maybe finish it some other time. This one seems much more interesting, and it doesn't punish me for researching it. Just want to check if there's anything to talk to you about regarding
Officer.
the... No? Okay. Bush by the corner room or something. So outside somewhere. Oh, that's a hassle though. You've got to like walk all the way around the whole thing. Loading screens and loading screens and loading screens. Maybe it's necessary. What? We were given a location for a spare key, but... but it doesn't seem to have worked to actually find it. Huh. Plus 10 for note in the workshop. Fair and balanced. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of colour in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence. Someone had a key in the bush. Huh? Can you let me slide by so I can grab the thing? I don't know about that. Tattoo man yawns and says, "Well, I'm comfortable here. I don't think any sliding would really help right now." "Sorry, fucker. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite." Gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there. With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. Take the key. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched to its bird. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence. "Man, Theo's weird." "Come on, man, we were just having some fun. What's the harm in..." "I'm tired of listening to your shit." "Thank you." "Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key." Right, so that means we can now unlock this door, which is convenient. Key fits the dimple lock. Takes a bit of effort, but savoir-faire, master investigator. You just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, do you? What do you mean? I'm just browsing.
Yes?
What do you stand out of the way, Kim? Run your finger across the dust of the white Dior machine. How do I fire these bad boys up and play some ball? You can't fire them up, they're broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works, the Royalist pinball. I guess I can't come back to this, since it's just a thought. Which is a shame, because I have a whole bunch of things that boost Encyclopedia that I'm not wearing. It's White Diora, some kind of inane pinball theme. Probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball. No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on. Let's move on then. Because I'll take damage if I fail it, and... Jamrock Shuffle? By now it's clear you like to look inside containers. You like to open doors and see what's behind them. Maybe secrets, maybe more juicy containers. Let's be honest, you like all containers. Trash cans, utensil trays, manholes, coat pockets, secret containers left behind by the Philippine kings that hold forbidden relics. Okay, you haven't come across one of those yet, but one day. Wait, is that why you're so hell-bent on opening containers? Do you think you'll find the Holy Scepter and the Orbe de Montagna? I mean, I might find his cocaine stash. Not a bad idea. Man, if you finish this one and it reveals a bunch of extra containers in the world, I would be very happy with that. I guess I can't talk to Kim to get the pinball conversation back. Worth a try.
Yes?
Nothing. Yeah, it's just one of those little orbs that you had to have the right stat maxed before you click it. Fair and balanced. Alright, we'll have to call that all for today. Next time, talk to Gart, talk to Titus. Game continues. But until then, everyone, good luck and have fun.